What's up, everyone? Roy Powers here with IGN. Today I'm joined by Luke Carmali.
Hello, how are you?
And we got to take a look last week at some of the new maps, some of the new characters that's going to be coming to Black Ops 3 Zombie Mode.
Yes, which was quite good. So, just to give you an idea of what to expect, I am a relative Call of Duty newcomer, whereas Rory is our seasoned pro.
I'm reasonably obsessed.
So
I have played Black Ops 1 Zombies and Black Ops 2 Zombies an embarrassing amount. The map that they're going to be releasing first is called the Shadows of Evil.
It is indeed, and so it's kind of it's an interesting one. It's mixed in film noir type setting.
It's based in the 1940s, around kind of like a very Americanized city. One of the things they emphasized was the amount of levels that they're going to be capitalizing on that.
Yeah.
So it seems like a huge map. It's a very, very large map.
There's a lot of verticality in it in terms of how you move around. So you know, you can like most of the buildings you can go inside, you can explore. There's lots of floors.
So I mean, in terms of maps in the past, we've had a large scope, you know, from the original ones like Kino and 5, for example, relatively small, but there's a lot of complexity in them. Then you've got things like Transit, which are just enormous. We literally have to take buses to get to different parts of the map. So I think this is going to be like a happy medium, but definitely the amount of like levels, it seemed like you could get into the buildings because there was buildings that were relative to characters.
Yeah.
So it might be kind of similar to Die Rise, which was in Black Ops 2, where there's like lots of different floors in buildings that you can kind of experiment up, maybe elevator systems, something like that, which is, you know, terrifying. You don't want to be in an elevator with a zombie.
You don't want to be in an elevator with a zombie. I know there's also, because there's that tram, there's a tram that goes around the city, and you can use that, I think. But, but yeah, it's kind of on a high wire. So that's going to be quite tense, I think.
And in terms of what we've seen gameplay on the map, it was quite nice because, well, first off, it was just great seeing the zombies that we're all used to, hearing the noises that we're all used to, the movement styles. You know, if you play a lot of zombies, which evidently I have, you know how they move, you know how to play them and manipulate them when you're hoarding, when you've been playing for 6 hours and one of your teammates has to go to the bathroom, so you can do loops around the map and things like that. It definitely, from the looks of the gameplay, it's the zombies that we're used to, it's the movement we're used to. Now, there is a bit of a curveball here because there are, I'm not going to say aliens, but definitely a different type of infected creatures.
Okay. So
we saw some sort of green flying monsters,
kind of buggy type things.
Yeah, and also what appeared to be kind of a boss battle. Some three-headed tentacled monster.
That was terrifying. It was. I know we didn't have any information about how you make that spawn, when it arrives.
No.
But it was it was this massive three-headed creature attacking you.
But I mean, this could be similar to, I mean, we're no strangers to having to fight off things that just aren't zombies. You know, you've got the monkeys from Ascension, you've got the dogs in Kino, you know, you have a lot of different things mixed in. So maybe it's similar to the past. It's like a 5-round thing. Maybe these green creatures appear, you got to beat them. But I guess if we're moving on a little bit, we can start looking into the characters.
Yes.
First off, you've got Nero, who is a failed magician.
Yes, and he's played by Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, the cast is amazing.
Yeah, the cast is great.
Absolutely incredible.
And some of his quips and stuff. There's a new trailer that's been released today. Some of his quips are hilarious, and apparently he kept going off script. And yeah, no, so he seems really, really fun character.
And next up, we have Jessica,
who's the burlesque dancer, right?
She's a burlesque dancer.
And that's Heather Graham.
Yes, and her kind of dream is to make it, you know, big time in the big city. Unfortunately, the road to that success apparently leads to seducing and killing a lot of men.
Yeah, quite a lot of these people, you get to know them because they kill a lot of people.
They're not very nice people.
Yeah.
Moving on to Jack, a crooked cop.
Yes, I like him.
Following the theme of corrupt people.
Yeah.
And ending with Floyd the boxer, who, once again, corrupt. He got busted for putting, you know, knuckle busters under his boxing ring, or his boxing gloves.
To like rig fights.
Exactly. So the whole idea, the premise, as we have been explained by so far, is that all of these kind of corrupt, evil people have been grouped together unwillingly
by this person called the Shadow Man, who is basically trying to teach them the error of their ways.
That's what it seems like, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some mentions in the description of the level. These characters have suffered from amnesia, and you know, as you progress, they're trying to piece together memories. Obviously, Easter eggs is one of the biggest parts of zombies. You know, people love piecing all these things together. We were talking with the actual developer who's in charge of creating the story.
Yeah.
It was nice because he still pitched the narrative as Easter eggs. Which is definitely important for us because zombies, I think to a lot of people, including myself, is as much of a survival game as it is a narrative game. I want to play it for hours to see if I can reach level 50 again.
Oh, you're such a
So it's interesting to be able to have the option to pursue these Easter eggs and pursue the campaign without being, flogged by it.
Yeah.
You can still just, you and your friends, play as much as you want and try and get as far as you can.
He also advised Zombies players to finish the main game campaign, which we talk about in another video, because he did say that there would be some little perks in there for doing that.
Yeah. In terms of weapons, as we said, they're going to be a little bit different because it is 1940s, and we have played in some time zones very similar to this before. So, I mean, we've used Tommy guns and things like that before in some of the previous zombie games. One of the interesting things was that there was a lot of melee weapons in the trailer.
Well, Floyd definitely seems to be using his knuckle dusters.
Yeah, there was those, and the magician had a knife.
Yeah.
Some sort of blade katana thing. It was really, really cool, and it all seemed tailored to the characters. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the way it is, but it does seem like each character has their own kind of melee weapon, and they were definitely, at least in the trailer, being utilized as much as actual firepower. But in terms of the actual guns themselves, from what we've seen in the trailers, it's same kind of mechanics. We've seen guns you can purchase off walls. There's a short clip where you can hear a pack-a-punched gun and see the different muzzle flash, so presumably that'll be a mechanic that stays in this.
This then comes on to our next thing, which is the perks, right?
Yeah.
Because, so some people have asked about this before, and the bubblegum machines that you see around the map, and they give you perks, right? And you'll be able to unlock packs before the levels, and then select which kind of bubblegums you want to put in them. And because some of the stuff there, there was one that people take, and he was getting tentacles, right, that he could attack with, and all of this.
That was very strange.
So kind of these weird, kind of like the Darkness, where there are those two massive snake creatures on his side, where he's going for them. It's like that, and so I do think that maybe within the perk element of things, there may be another different type of
absolutely.
Weapons.
There were some clips where you can only just kind of get a gist for what's actually happening. But I saw zombies kind of just drop into the floor in bursts of red mist. Just interesting things that we don't really know what it does. But they did say as you level up, because there will be a full XP progression system, which is definitely interesting because we had a little bit of it before in Black Ops 2 with grief and stuff. You can get your levels, but this seems to be much more tied in to everything, to the campaign, to multiplayer. So you can unlock bubblegum as you progress.
Yeah, I think it offers, again, there's that element of, customization and rewarding you for progression, which is good. But yes, as we were saying, some of the perks we saw just got a sneak peek at.
Really crazy.
They were game changers, literally.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we had in Origins, for example, there was perks that it was a randomized cola. So you drink the cola and you would get a randomized perk. But it's different to say maybe the bubblegum one will be, as we saw, these maybe kind of crazier ones. Maybe Juggernog will be the standard ones. You can still get Juggernog speed reload, those sort of things. But then on top of that, maybe the bubblegum machine has some crazier ones.
Weird
turns
tentacles.
you into a weird tentacled alien.
Yeah.
It'd be absolutely crazy. So that's everything that we have on the Shadows of Evil. But we also got to take a look at another map that they're going to be releasing.
Yes, this one is called The Giant.
Exactly, and it's going to be included in the collector's edition of Black Ops 3.
Yes, although we did ask if it would be available to purchase separately afterwards, and they was very much no comment, news will be coming on that soon, which basically means you will be able to buy it.
Presumably, yeah. So for those of you who maybe didn't get too excited at the thought of Shadows of Evil, maybe you didn't really vibe with the characters, you didn't really vibe with that time, this was definitely the one for me personally that really kicked everything off, because this is a continuation from Origins. So immediately you're reintroduced to the old crew. You got Richtofen, you got Dempsey, Takeo, you've got everyone there. They kind of confront Richtofen, who's undergoing some sort of experiment involving Dr. Maxis and his daughter Samantha. As everyone knows, the Call of Duty Zombies story is pretty convoluted, and of course, it's not force-fed at all. They're all Easter eggs. It's very hidden. A lot of figuring this kind of stuff out, I've had to do by looking up wikis and piecing ideas and fan theories together on the internet.
But this one certainly seemed really interesting, because this is the what people maybe have come to expect from zombies. So I mean,
absolutely.
It is there for people who perhaps aren't too taken with Shadows of Evil.
I guess I definitely say it's kind of the safer option. It's kind of giving you this different one, giving you Shadows of Evil, but also just in case, here's the traditional map.
Yeah.
Here's all the characters you're used to. So definitely a lot of exciting stuff that was revealed. As we say, if you're not really feeling the 1940s vibe, at least you've got
The Giant.
You've got the old crew.
Yes, for now. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything we have on the zombies mode. But for everything else on Call of Duty Black Ops 3, stick with IGN.